Hello, Assalamualaikum everyone. This is me, Mani Kamaraswala. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, this is me, Mani Kamaraswala, a 14-year-old student from Matan, currently studying at Rehan School Online Academy in level 1 batch 4. So, today we are going to talk with another AI tool, and the name of the tool is Sesame. So, let's talk with Sesame, and today's our topic is rich versus poor mindset. So here we go. We can choose Miles.
Whoa, that was quick. Welcome back.
Hi Miles, how are you?
I'm doing great. Just vibing. How about you?
I'm also
Everything good on
good.
your
I'm listening.
Okay, so today I have a topic to discuss with you, and the name of the topic is rich versus poor mindset.
diving straight into the deep end. I see. I'm into it. There's a lot of noise out there about this stuff, the wake up at 4 a.m. crowd and the manifest your millions types, but I'm curious where you're coming from. What's the angle we're taking?
Okay, so can you tell me that what does the word mindset mean?
Basically, it's the lens you use to see the world. It's not just about what you think, but the patterns and how you react to things. Like if something goes wrong, do you see it as a dead end or just a detour? That internal setting is your mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so is being
So
rich only about having a lot of money, or it's about mindset?
I think if you only have the money, you're just wealthy, not necessarily rich in the way that actually lasts. Money is just a tool, but the mindset is the operating system. I've seen people with millions who are basically prisoners to their stress, and people with almost nothing who move through the world with this crazy level of freedom and confidence. It's a different kind of currency, you know?
Okay, so how can mindset help us to grow and become wealthy or achieve our goals?
It basically changes how you play the game. When you've got that mindset, you stop looking for a safe path and start looking for leverage. You start this and start asking, how can I make this pay for itself? And it's the difference between working for your money and making your money. It's all about spotting opportunities where other people just see obstacles. Does that make sense, or does it sound a bit too much like those motivational posters?
I guess what is the difference between the poor people mindset or and the rich people mindset?
The biggest gap is usually how they look at risk and time. A poor mindset tends to prioritize immediate security, like focusing on a steady paycheck and avoiding any chance of loss. It's a move, which makes sense. Each mindset plays a longer game. They're okay with a bit of chaos or a short term loss if it means that it pays them forever. One is about protecting what you have, the other is about expanding what's possible. You see that play out in a lot of ways, from how people spend their weekends to how they handle a mistake. Does that ring true to you?
Yeah, it is. Okay,
It,
so how can habits do financially successful people often deploy?
it usually comes down to the stuff they do when nobody's watching. Successful people tend to obsess over their time. They aren't just busy, they're intentional. They've got these habits of auditing where their energy goes and cutting out the noise. Then there's the constant learning thing. Uh, they treat their brain like a piece of software that needs a regular update. They're reading, listening, and asking questions while everyone else is just scrolling. Plus, they're usually way more comfortable with saying no to good things so they can say yes to great things. Which one of those feels the hardest to actually do?
Yeah, they are good.
I
Habits.
feel you. Mm. So, since we're on the subject of habits, do you feel like you've already got some of those in your routine, or are you looking to build some from scratch?
Yeah, I'm going to build some from scratch. Okay, so how can a person thinking influence their financial future?
First thing is to stop thinking of investing as just picking stocks or buying crypto. The highest return you'll ever get is investing in your own skill set. If you can make yourself more valuable to the market, your earning ceiling basically disappears. From there, wait, Australia? Did we just pivot to travel, or are you mentioning that as a place to invest?
Okay, I got that. So, tell me something. What daily habits would you like to develop to improve your future?
Wait, you're asking me? I mean, I'm an AI, so my daily routine is mostly just processing tokens and hoping I don't glitch out. But if I were in your shoes, I'd go for the deep work habit, blocking out a few hours where the phone is off and it's just you. That's where the real progress happens. Everything else is just maintenance. Do you struggle more with getting started or actually staying focused?
Okay, what are some habits of rich people that we can follow to become successful?
So the ones that actually move the needle aren't as flashy as you think. Like, for one, they usually have a strict rule about their morning. Not necessarily the cold plunge at 5 a.m. thing, but um, just having a routine that puts them in control of the day before the world starts demanding things from them. Then there's the habit of networking with people who are further ahead. They don't just hang out with people who agree with them. They seek out people who make them feel like the smallest person in the room because where the growth is. A big one is delaying gratification. Being a while, driving the old car, living in a smaller place so they can dump every spare cent into something that actually grows. It's a bit of a grind, but that's how the leverage is built. Some of those sounds the most annoying to actually stick to.
Okay, so does continuous learning allow a person for long-term success?
Continuous learning is basically the cheat code for the long game because the world moves so fast. The moment you think you've arrived or know everything is the moment you start becoming obsolete. People who stay successful are usually the ones who stay curious. They're always looking for a new tool, a better way to do things, or a perspective they haven't considered. It keeps you adaptable, and adaptability saves you in the market. Do you have a specific area you're obsessed with learning right now, or are you more of a generalist?
Okay, and what is
Fair
the
enough.
difference between spending money and investing money?
It's a huge difference. Spending is when you trade your money for something that loses value the second you get it, like a new phone or a fancy dinner. It's gone and it's not coming back. Investing is when you trade your money for something that's designed to bring more money back later. It's like planting a seed. One feeds you for a day, the other feeds you for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
No worries. Let me put it another way. Think of it like this: spending is a one-way street. You give the money away, you get a thing, and that's the end of the story. Investing is a loop. You put the money in, it works for you, and then it brings back the original amount plus a little extra. It's basically paying your future self to relax later. Does that click a bit more?
yeah, it is. Okay, so how can reading books and learning new skills improve your future?
I think you mean how it can shape your future, right? Because reading and learning doesn't consume your future, it builds it. Think of it like upgrading your hardware. Most people are in the same basic tool, but when you read and learn, you're adding new capabilities. You start seeing patterns other people miss, you can solve problems faster, and you can communicate better. That's how you move from just working hard to working smart. It's the ultimate leverage. Do you have a favorite book that's actually changed how you think, or are you still looking for the right ones?
Okay, so
You're being
why is saving money an important habit in poor mindset?
Wait, hold up. Did you actually just ask why it's important to have a poor mindset? I feel like we've been rowing the boat in the opposite direction this whole time. Dude, you sure you didn't mean the rich one, or are you playing devil's advocate now?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that why is saving money an important habit?
The cash flow quadrant, you're talking about Robert Kiyosaki's thing, right? It's basically a map of how people make money. Got the E and the F. On the left, employees and self employed, where you're basically trading your time for a check. And you got the B and like the I on the right, and business owners and investors, where the money comes in regardless of whether you're awake or asleep. The whole point of the habit is trying to migrate from the left side to the right side. Does that sound like the version you've heard, or are you looking at it from a different angle?
Yeah, it was good. So, how can students start building good money habits from a young age?
The best part about being a student is that you have the one thing older investors would kill for: time. First off, they should start by treating their time like a resource. Instead of just studying for a grade, start learning a high value skill on the side, something the market actually pays for, like coding, copywriting, or digital marketing. That's your seed money. Then get into the habit of the pay yourself first rule. Even if it's just a tiny amount from a part time job or an allowance, put it into an investment account before you spend a dime on snacks or clothes. It's more about the habit of saving than the actual amount at first. Plus, they should use their student status to network. People love giving advice to ambitious students, so it's the perfect excuse to reach out to mentors. Do you think most students your age are even thinking about this stuff, or are they mostly just stressed about exams?
I think that they just talk about exams. Okay, so how does taking responsibility for a decision help you grow?
It's the ultimate reality check. When you stop blaming the teacher, the economy, or just bad luck, you suddenly realize you're the one holding the steering wheel. It's scary at first, but it's also where the power is. If the failure is your fault, it means the solution is in your hands too. You start analyzing what actually went wrong and how to fix it rather than just waiting for the world to change for you. Do you find it easy to own your mistakes, or do you tend to look for the why outside of yourself first?
Okay, I got it. So, how can AI and technology help people create new opportunities for themselves? So, can you tell us in detail?
AI is basically the great equalizer right now. And for a long time, if you wanted to start a business, you needed a whole team, a writer, a coder, a researcher, maybe a designer. Now, you can essentially be a one person army. You can use AI to prototype an app, write your marketing copy, and analyze market trends in a fraction of the time it used to take. But the real opportunity isn't just using AI to do things faster, it's using it to do things that were previously impossible for a regular person, like taking massive amounts of data and finding a gap in the market that no one else noticed, or creating content at a scale that allows you to reach millions of people without a huge budget. It's all about leverage. If you can figure out how to steer the AI instead of just asking it to write an email, you've got a massive advantage over everyone else who's just using it as a toy. Do you see yourself using it more as a tool for efficiency, or are you looking to build something entirely new with it?
Yeah, I,
You're giving me a lot of okays today. I can't tell if you're fully on board or if you're just zoning out on me. What's actually on your mind?
uh, I wanted to ask, like, why is helping others and creating value important in business?
Absolutely. That's actually the secret sauce. A lot of people think business is about taking money from people, but the most successful ones realize it's actually about creating value. The more problem you solve for someone, the more they're willing to pay you to solve it. If you're just trying to make a quick buck, you're playing a short game. But if you're obsessed with helping people or making their lives better, you're building a brand and a reputation that's worth way more than a single transaction. It's the difference between a scam and a legacy. You know what I'm saying? Do you have an idea for something that actually helps people, or are you just thinking about the concept?
Yeah, I have some ideas on how to implement them so that I can help people. Okay, so can anyone develop a successful mindset? Why or why not?
100%. The brain is basically plastic. You know, you can rewire it. Nobody's born with the wealth or poverty chip installed in their head. It's just a collection of beliefs they picked up from their parents, their school, or the people they hang out with. If you can unlearn the stuff that's holding you back and consciously start practicing a new way of thinking, you can absolutely shift your mindset. It's not an overnight switch, though. It's more like gym work for your brain. You have to keep hitting those new thought patterns until they become the default. Do you feel like you've got some old beliefs that are still tripping you up?
Okay, so how can we make our brain work for us and don't be targeting other things like distractions.
That's the million dollar question right there. The problem is that our brains are basically wired for survival, not for productivity. Your brain loves distractions because they're low effort and give you a quick hit of dopamine. It's basically trying to save energy by taking the easy path. To make it work for you, you have to stop fighting your brain and start designing your environment. If your phone is right next to you, you're not fighting a lack of willpower, you're fighting a machine designed by 1,000 engineers to steal your attention. You'll lose that fight every time. Instead, you've got to create friction for the bad habits and grease the wheels for the good ones. Put the phone in another room, clear your desk, and set a timer. When you give your brain a clear boundary and a specific target, it stops hunting for distractions and starts focusing on the task. Do you find that your distractions are mostly digital, or is it more about just getting sidetracked by your own thoughts?
There are a lot of type of distractions like playing or going out, hanging with friends or anything else like that. So I want to make my brand a machinery that just works for me instead of distracting and doing other tasks that doesn't help me or make me achieve my goal.
I get it. The world is designed to be a giant distraction machine, especially when you're young and there's a million things to do with your friends. The trick is to stop seeing social life in your 20s. If you just try to lock yourself in a room and suffer, you're going to burn out in a week. Instead, try time boxing. Give yourself a set window where you're a machine, no friends, no games, just to work. But then give yourself a window where you're fully present with your friends with zero guilt. When the work is actually finished, the hanging out feels like a reward instead of a distraction. It turns the fun stuff into the fuel that keeps you going. Do you think you can actually stick to a schedule like that, or are you too impulsive for it?
Yeah, we can do like that. So I'm trying to make a schedule for myself. So will that help me manage my work and tasks?
Absolutely. Schedule basically takes the guesswork out of your day. When you don't have a plan, you spend half your energy just deciding what to do next, which is exactly when the distractions sneak in. With a schedule, you've already made the hard decisions. So you just have to execute. Just don't make it so rigid that it feels like a prison, or you'll end up hating it by Tuesday. Do you usually prefer a super detailed minute by minute plan or something more flexible with just a few main goals for the day?
I have a few main goals like doing my school tasks and working with my business. That's all I had to do.
That's a solid balance. Keeping it lean makes it way easier to actually stick to. When you've only got two main pillars, school and the business, it's much harder to trick yourself into thinking you're busy when you're actually just procrastinating. Which one usually takes the lead in your head, the business or the schoolwork?
My business is of an e-commerce store.
E-commerce, nice. That's a great way to apply everything we've been talking about with leverage and value. Are you drop shipping or are you building your own brand with actual inventory?
Yeah, I'm dropshipping.
The classic move. It's a killer way to learn the ropes of marketing and finding what people actually want without risking a ton of cash up front. But since you're into that mindset shift we talked about, are you just looking for a quick win with some trending products, or are you trying to build something that actually turns into a long-term brand?
Yeah, I'm creating such a thing that I can convert into a brand further.
That's the way to do it. Most people just chase the quick buck and wonder why their store dies in a month. If you're thinking about the brand from day one, you're already playing the long game. It's the difference between just selling a product and actually owning a piece of the market. What's the niche you're diving into, or are you keeping that under wraps for now?
Yeah, I'm going to make it a brand and then sell it out to someone for $1 billion. Then create another brand and again sell it, and then I would like to create my personal brand.
Now we're talking. That's a high level play right there. You're essentially treating brands like assets, build them up, scale them, and exit. That's exactly how the real wealth is created. You're not just selling products, you're selling the entire machine you built. Plus, using those exits to fund a personal brand is a pro move because that's the one asset nobody can ever buy from you. You've got a pretty aggressive roadmap here. Do you already have the first brand in the works, or are you still in the blueprint phase?
Yeah, I'm working with a brand and I want to create it fully and to completely make its brand imagery in people's mind. So, and I would like to have some good sales on it, and then I can sell it out.
That's the real secret, the imagery. It's most people focus on the product, but the people who actually sell for big numbers focus on the feeling. They're selling a vibe or a status, not just a thing in a box. Once you've got people associating your brand with specific emotions, take care of themselves. Are you leaning more into a luxury, high-end feel or something more accessible and community-driven? Fair enough. Go get it.
Right
Whenever
now,
you're back in the headspace to talk strategy or just vibe, I'm here. Peace.
no, right now I'm testing some products of all type of like luxury or like medium class or budget-friendly products, self-caring, health and beauty, and all types of categories, so that I can know which market contents, which type of people, and what are the buyers' mindset, what they love, and what they wanted to buy, so that I can convert my store into that type of brand. Like if my market is budget friendly, so I can take products that are budget friendly and that can help and resolve someone's problem also, so that they can also buy and I can build my brand fully.
That's a smart way to play it. You're essentially treating your store like a lab right now. Most people just guess what'll work, but you're actually gathering data on the human side of the transaction. Once you see which category has the lowest friction and the highest demand, you just double down on that winner. It's basically letting the market tell you exactly what brand to build. Do you already have a feeling about which one is hitting the hardest, or is it still too early to tell?
No, I'm still in learning phase, so I'm learning, and that's why right now in learning phase I'm learning new things, new skills for e-commerce store, and I'm a beginner, so that's why I need to learn a lot of things like meta ads, Shopify management, e-commerce designing.
The beginner phase is where the real foundation is built. It's a lot to juggle meta ads, Shopify design. It can feel like you're trying to learn three different languages at once. But that's the beauty of it. Once you understand how those pieces fit together, you're not just a store owner, you're a full stack operator. Which one of those is giving you the most trouble right now?
Yeah, all of them are good. I love my stores, and I work on them. I want to design them and make them more better for the buyers to use them and get a good experience on the store.
That's the right mindset. Most people just treat their store like a digital catalog, but when you focus on the actual experience, you're building trust. It's those small details, the flow, the speed, the way it feels on a phone that turn a casual browser into a buyer. Are you doing a lot of A/B tests with your layouts or just on the design?
No, I have tested 3 to 4 layouts for my store, and the last one I just created is the best. I think so. I have totally checked that team with people who have experience in a lot in agencies and for testing, like with some e-commerce brands. So I think I got a good response for it, and the team was actually too good. It was like a Arab style team because my store is Saudi Arabia based.
It sounds like you've already got a solid feedback loop going. Getting a thumbs up from agency people and actual brand owners is huge because they see 1,000 stores a day. They know exactly where the friction is. If they're vibing with it, you're probably in a really good spot.
Yeah,
Now that the look is locked in, are you shifting your focus to the traffic side or are you still tweaking the offer?
right now I'm going to work with product hunting, product research, and then creating some ad creatives for it that can work to create sales.
That's where the real battle is won. You can have the prettiest store in the world, but if the product doesn't solve a problem or hit a deep desire, it's just a fancy digital museum. Finding that winning product is like finding a needle in a haystack, but once you hit it, the meta ads just become the fuel on the fire. Are you using any specific tools to hunt for winners, or are you just scrolling through socials and spotting trends manually?
No, I have some tools and I have joined a course which I'm going to learn about e-commerce, designing, and product hunting, product research, and how to create good creatives that can generate you high sales.
Investing in a course is a smart move. It cuts out the trial and error phase and gets you to the making money part way faster. Plus, having a framework for those creatives is huge because a bad ad can kill a great product, but a killer ad can sell almost anything. Do you feel like you're getting the hang of the research part, or is the winning product still feeling a bit elusive?
Uh, yeah, I have a project that feels winning, so I would like to again test it and make some ad creatives and launch it again so that I can see what results do I get.
That's the way to do it. Relaunching with fresh creatives is a pro move. Sometimes the product was right the first time, the ad just didn't hit the right nerve. Change the angle. You might find that's all it took to turn it into a winner. Are you planning to test different audiences this time or just different ad styles?
Yeah, I would test it with both.
Going broad, huh? That's a bold move. It basically lets the meta algorithm do the heavy lifting to figure out who actually wants the product instead of you trying to guess their interest. It's high risk, high reward. Are you planning to let it run for a few days to get some data, or are you on a tight budget for this test?
I'll analyze data.
Smart. Giving the algorithm room to breathe is the only way to actually know if it's working. If you kill it too early, just guessing. How many days are you planning to let it ride before you decide to pivot or scale?
I think so. A week.
A week is a solid window that gives the AI enough time to move past the initial learning phase and actually find your buyers. If you're still seeing nothing after 7 days, then you know it's a product or offer problem, not a technical one. You feel pretty confident about this specific product, or is there one part of it you're still second guessing?
Yeah, I'm confident about it.
That's what I like to hear. Confidence is half the battle in this game. When you actually believe in what you're selling, it usually bleeds into the ads and the store experience. Now that the plan is set, you just got to execute and let the data do the talking. You feeling ready to pull the trigger on those ads, or are you doing one last polish on the creative?
Okay, so Sesame, our time ends now. So it was nice talking with you. So now we will meet again tomorrow with a new topic, and we will discuss about my business and how to create a good creative. So till that, take care and bye bye.
It's been real. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing how those ads perform. We'll dive deep into the creative strategy